She lost her job standing up for a veteran service dog. 1 hour later, the Marine commander came to her house, and this happened. A good Samaritan went above and beyond when she stood up for a veteran with a service dog. She was fired after that day. But what she didn't know was that her actions would go viral. She would receive an unexpected visit from the commander of the Marines 1 hour later. Jennifer was a hard-working employee at her local grocery store. She was always on time and never complained about working extra hours. Even though she had never served in the military, she respected all veterans and active soldiers. So when she saw this veteran entering the store, his service dog by his side, she greeted him with a smile. The veteran started picking out items while keeping an eye on the dog, who was well-behaved and stayed by his owner's side. Jennifer noticed that the dog seemed uncomfortable, so she decided to approach them. "Is everything okay? You seem a bit tense," she asked kindly. The veteran looked at Jennifer with gratitude. "Thank you for your concern, but it's nothing. This dog means the world to me, but he gets anxious sometimes." "Well, I'm not going to ask any questions, but if you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to help," Jennifer said warmly. She turned to leave. But then she heard the veteran say, "Actually, yes, I do have a question. Are you trained to handle dogs?" Startled, Jennifer turned back around. "Yes, I am. I used to work at an animal shelter, so I have experience with animals, including dogs." "Perfect. Would you mind walking my dog outside for a few minutes? He needs some fresh air, but I'm unable to take him due to my injuries," the veteran requested. Although surprised by the request, Jennifer understood the importance of the dog to the veteran and readily agreed. Jennifer grabbed the leash and walked the dog outside. "Don't worry, buddy. We're going to get you some water and then we can play a bit," she said to the dog reassuringly. As Jennifer walked the dog, she noticed that many people in the store were staring at them. Some even whispered comments that made her blood boil. Despite the negativity, Jennifer continued walking the dog until they reached the park across the street. Once there, Jennifer gave the dog water and played with him for a few minutes. She couldn't believe how adorable and well-trained he was. As she watched the dog playing, Jennifer felt a sense of pride in herself for helping the veteran. She knew that this small gesture would make a big difference to him. After playing with the dog, Jennifer walked him back to the store. On the way back, she couldn't help but think about how much the veteran must appreciate her help. She imagined how grateful he would be to have someone take care of his furry companion while he finished his shopping. Upon returning to the store, Jennifer handed the leash back to the veteran. "Here you go." "I hope he enjoyed the walk," she said with a smile. "Thank you so much for your help today, Jennifer. Your kindness is truly appreciated," the veteran replied. "It was no trouble at all. I'm just glad I could help," she responded warmly. From that moment on, Jennifer and the veteran became friends. They often met at the store and chatted about their lives. Jennifer learned that the veteran's name was David, and that he had served in the Marines for several years. She also discovered that David's service dog, whose name was Ranger, had been specially trained to assist him with his daily tasks and provide emotional support. One day, Jennifer noticed that David was looking particularly downcast. Sensing his sadness, she couldn't help but ask if everything was all right. "I'm sorry, Jennifer, but it's nothing. I'm just feeling a bit overwhelmed lately," David replied, trying to hide his emotions. However, Jennifer wasn't convinced. She knew that David had been struggling since his return from his latest mission. With a gentle touch, she encouraged him to open up, assuring him that she was there to listen without judgment. Touched by her empathy, David finally broke down and shared his struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. He explained how difficult it had been for him to reintegrate into civilian life after his traumatic experiences in combat. David admitted that he had considered ending his life, but it was his service dog, Ranger, who had given him a reason to keep going. Ranger's unwavering loyalty and companionship had helped him through the darkest moments, giving him hope to seek professional help and reintegrate into society. Overwhelmed with empathy, Jennifer hugged David, letting him know that he wasn't alone. She promised to support him on his journey to recovery and pledged to help him access resources that could alleviate his symptoms. In the coming weeks, Jennifer became David's rock. She offered a listening ear, a helping hand, and most importantly, a shoulder to cry on. Together, they navigated the challenges of PTSD, and David slowly began to heal. Meanwhile, Ranger also found solace in Jennifer's company. He would often nuzzle her hand, sensing her kindness and compassion for his owner. As David's condition improved, he realized that he had found a true friend in Jennifer. He was grateful for her understanding and support, which had been instrumental in his recovery. One evening, David decided to express his gratitude to Jennifer in a special way. He wanted to do something thoughtful that would show her how much he appreciated her friendship and support. After giving it some thought, he came up with the perfect idea. David knew that Jennifer loved animals, so he decided to get her a cute puppy as a gift. He adopted a small terrier mix from a local animal shelter, and the puppy quickly became Jennifer's new best friend. On the day Jennifer received the puppy, she was overjoyed. She couldn't believe that David had thought of her so carefully. The two quickly bonded over their love for animals, and their friendship grew even stronger. With the help of Ranger, David and Jennifer continued to support each other through thick and thin. They faced life's challenges together, knowing that they had each other to lean on. However, their happiness was short-lived. One day, Jennifer was called into her manager's office and was informed that she was being fired. She couldn't believe her ears. She had worked at the store for years and had always done her job well. When she asked why she was being fired, her manager told her that it was because of her interaction with the veteran. Apparently, some customers had complained that she had spent too much time talking to him and not enough time on the job. Jennifer was shocked. She couldn't believe that her simple act of kindness had cost her her job. As Jennifer walked out of the store, she couldn't hold back her tears. She had never felt so betrayed and misunderstood. She couldn't believe that her manager would fire her for simply helping a veteran in need. Just when she thought things couldn't get worse, she heard the familiar voice of her manager calling her name. Jennifer, wait, I need to apologize. Jennifer stopped walking and turned around to face her manager. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Had her manager changed his mind? I'm sorry for firing you. It was a mistake, her manager said. But I want you to know that this doesn't represent our store's values. We appreciate your kindness and generosity. Overwhelmed with emotion, Jennifer couldn't help but burst into tears. She was so grateful to hear these words from her manager. She had never imagined that he would apologize and offer her job back. As the Marine commander walked up to Jennifer's door, he was filled with admiration for her actions. He had heard about her from one of his Marines who had witnessed the incident at the store. Intrigued, he had launched an investigation and discovered that Jennifer had been fired. Determined to do something about it, the Marine commander decided to pay her a surprise visit. When she opened the door and saw a man in uniform standing before her, she was taken aback. "Hello, Jennifer. I'm here to deliver a message from the Marine Corps," the commander said with a smile. "We understand that you've been fired and we want to offer you a job within our organization." Overwhelmed with emotion, Jennifer could only manage a surprised what. The Marine commander continued, "Your actions demonstrate the core values of the Marine Corps: honor, courage, and commitment. We believe that you embody these values and would be a valuable asset to our team." Before Jennifer could respond, the Marine commander handed her a letter of apology from her former manager and a formal offer of employment from the Marine Corps. She couldn't believe what she was reading. Her dream job was now within reach. "This is incredible. Thank you so much," she stammered, her eyes welling up with tears. "I can't believe this is happening." The Marine commander nodded, understanding that she needed a moment to process this unexpected turn of events. He knew that she had acted with integrity and compassion, and he was pleased to offer her a job that matched her values. "I'm here to tell you that you have made us proud. Your actions will not be forgotten," the Marine commander added, his voice filled with sincerity. As the Marine commander turned to leave, he paused at the door and said, "Congratulations, Jennifer. We look forward to welcoming you to the Marine Corps family." And with that, he closed the door behind him, leaving Jennifer in a state of disbelief and excitement. Now, as she embarked on this new chapter of her career, she knew that her life would never be the same again. The Marine commander had not only given her a job, he had given her a new sense of purpose and belonging. She was no longer just a woman who had been fired from her job. She was now a valued member of the Marine Corps, ready to serve and make a difference in the world.